Hi, it's Andy here at Photech Video, and in this video I'm going to show you how to choose the focus point in your images after taking the images instead of before, giving you an enormous amount of creative freedom. I'm also going to show you how to focus stack easily in camera to create a completely in focus image from front to back, which also allows you to set a wider aperture. Do stick around until the end of this video when I'm going to give you an extra tip on how to get the best out of this tool. So what is this tool and which cameras can I use it on? Well, the tool is called Post Focus and I'm using it on my Panasonic Lumix S5. Now, I do know that this same tool exists in other Panasonic cameras, but I'm not sure exactly which ones, so I recommend you to check that out. I came across this tool in my Lumix S5 one day by accident, just scrolling through the menus, and I thought, what is this? So I decided to research a little bit and give it a try. It really is pretty useful for landscape photography and macro photography, as well as other photographic styles. Just use your imagination on how you can apply this tool to your own images. Now, it's not perfect, but it does a pretty good job. The great thing about this tool is that the whole process is done in camera, which means that you don't need to do focus bracketing in camera and then need a paid software to be able to do the post-production of the focus stacking in your PC or laptop. So there are several things to bear in mind when using the post-focus tool on the Lumix S5. First of all, you can only use the tool with autofocus lenses. As you know, I love my Panasonic kit lens, which is a 20 to 60 mm f3.5 to f5.6, and it works a treat using the post-focus tool. The other thing that I would recommend, even though the process is quite a quick one, is to use a tripod. Remember that this tool has a double function. One is to select the focus point anywhere in the image, and the other is to do focus stacking in camera. Obviously, if the initial image is still and steady, it will make it easier for the camera's software to be able to do that in-camera focus stacking. Okay, so as you can see, we've set up a series of objects here on the table at different distances from the camera lens. So the first thing we want to do is to open our camera menu, and as you can see, we're at the top on the red camera. So let's just cross over one moment, and we're going to scroll down until we get to the very last one, which is Others Photo 2. And now let's cross over to that menu and let's go right down. So we have 6K, 4K photo, and then we have post focus. So I'm going to open post focus, and as you can see, we have three options: off, 4K, which will give you an 8 megapixel photo, and 6K, which will give you an 18 megapixel photo. So therefore I'm going to select the 6K and back out of the menu. So now all we need to do is to press the shutter release, and the camera will take a series of photos, and you'll see the focus points changing on the screen, and then it will process the photo, which will allow us to select the focus point which we want in the photo after it's been taken. So let's give that a try. And as you can see, the focus points are all selecting. So now all we need to do is to touch this icon above, and it will begin to process the images. There we go, that was real time. And now we can see we have our focus peaking on. We can see that our silver cat at the front is in focus. So let's go to the E in home and click on that. And now we can see that we have the E completely in focus, the M as well because of the close distances, and our panda is also in focus. Let's go over to the H, see what happens there, and again we can see that there are differing degrees of focus. Our cat is now out of focus, and if we click back on home on the E, we can see that the cat is even further out of focus. Let's just click now onto our panda, And there you can see definitely that the cat is completely out of focus. And I'm going to try to focus on something here at the back. Let's see, for example, the television. And there we can see that most of the objects on the table are out of focus. So once we've decided which focus point we like the best, all we need to do is to touch the icon here at the bottom, and it will ask me if I want to save this image, yes or no. I'm going to say yes, and there it is. So if I go into my images now, I can see that I have the initial as well as the photo itself. And you can see the camera settings there at the bottom. Let's just focus this in so we can see that our panda is completely in focus, whereas our cat is not. Let's just zoom back out again. And let's go back now for a moment to our post-focus original image. And again, we're going to touch here on the icon at the top. It will process. Again, this was real time. We can see that our cat is back in focus. We can go back and make other focus changes as we like. And again, if we want to save a different, let's focus the cat. If we want to save that cat, we could also do the same and save that image. I'm going to say no in this case, but now here comes the great part. So we have these different objects on the table at varying focuses. Now let's decide that we want to have everything in focus. Imagine, for example, that we're outside. Unfortunately, we couldn't today because it's extremely windy and it's raining heavily. But let's imagine that this is a landscape photo and the panda, for example, is the mountains, or the window is the mountains, and in front we have the panda, which could be the lake maybe, and then we have the cat, which could be the foreground. And we want to create the whole image in focus. So all we have to do is go up here and we have two options. We have auto merging or we have range merging. In range merging, we can select different parts of the image which we want to be completely in focus. I'm going to cancel that and I'm going to go to auto merging. And here it's going to merge all the focus points which the camera chose initially, and it's going to merge them all together and focus stack as one image. So here we go. Merge all focus points into a single picture and save. Yes. And there we go. It's creating. This is real time. So let's see how long it actually takes. And it's about 30% of the way so far. And it's continuing. So as I'm sure you can imagine, I speeded up the process there. It did take a little bit longer than normal. I'll put here on the screen exactly how long this particular process took this time. And let's just go into the zoom and see whether or not now everything is in focus. So there you can see that everything is perfectly in focus. Our cat, which could be our lake, our panda, which could be the beginning of the mountains, the curtains, which could be the rear mountains, and all of the letters on the table, which could be our trees around the lake. And there you have it. What a really useful tool that is. Well, I think you'll agree that the results are pretty impressive, and the camera really doesn't take that long to complete the process. For professional work or for prints, I would recommend focus bracketing as opposed to this post-focus tool to guarantee that there is no shifting in the final stacked images. But for everyday use on social media, for example, the Panasonic post-focus tool and the focus stacking feature is a very quick and easy way to get similar results. You'll find affiliate links to all the gear used or mentioned in the making of this video in the description section down below. If you do purchase something through one of my affiliate links, thank you. The price to you will be the same, but I will receive a small commission which will help me to continue creating content for you here on this channel. And like that, you are supporting the continuation of the channel. Also, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments section down below. I always read and answer your comments and questions, and interacting with the channel is an excellent way for me to know the kind of content that you would like me to create in future videos. Now, here's the promised extra tip to get the best out of this tool. As I mentioned before, when using this tool, you select the focus point and then you save the image to your camera which you want. That is saved as a JPEG. I was using the 6K feature, which gives me an 18 megapixel photo, and each of the photos that you save will also be 18 megapixels in this case, even the focus stacking version. So what's my tip? Well, when you download these images to your PC or to your laptop, in the same file, download the video file which was originally created in this feature. Because if at a later date you decide, well, I wish I had have focused on that point, or I wish I'd have only stacked these particular selections in the merge feature, all you need to do is to reload the video file from your PC or laptop to the camera's memory card, insert the memory card into the camera, click on your View Images, and you can continue to select different focus points or create a different focus stacked image. If you liked this video, please click on the like button. If you're not subscribed yet to the channel, please subscribe to my channel and ring on that notification bell to be notified every time a new video drops on my channel. Until the next time, this is Andy at Photech Video signing off. Take care and be safe.